Hi Keith, this is Casey. I'm going to do this video, option number 2, for week 1 in our Curriculum 516 class. Here it goes. The trends of various instructional settings that I expect to see in the next 10 years. Obviously, we are in 2015, soon to be 16. Technology is booming. It's changing every day. So there's different ways that are going to be changing in the next 10 years that have already started now. The ways to share information. Before it was a thumb drive or printing out the hard copy and giving it actually that way. The new ways to share information, we obviously have the cloud. I think everyone uses the cloud. Mine automatically sets up for my phone and saves all my stuff every day at a certain time. Through the cloud, you can get your documents, you have calendars, spreadsheets, emails, and like I said before, it can go from your smartphone, your tablet, and your computer at a set time or whenever you want to. There's also Google Drive, which University of Phoenix actually I found out uses, which is really cool. So it makes it able to, so you can share documents with other people in your class. I used it in a class before this with a group. Our team learning, we actually used it so everyone can log on and edit rather than trying to copy paste and email, and things get lost in spam. So Google Drive is actually a really cool thing that we can use now. There is Dropbox. I actually use that just for videos and movies, but you can use it with other things as well. The only thing about Dropbox is that the person you're sending it to or needs to view it also has to have Dropbox as well. It's a free thing, but still can be kind of a hassle. Another thing is online courses. This is obviously an online course. My graduate degree, it's all going to be online, and my undergrad was all online. I lived overseas, so it was easier to just do it that way. With the internet using, it's expanding everyone's learning capabilities. Anyone can take an online class. When I was deployed, you can take it. People around the globe are all taking the same class, which is really nice. With the number of working adults out in the workforce, it's harder to do campus classes. So online classes are a huge benefit to working adults. 10 years from now, I think most classes are going to be online. I know there are a couple really good campuses like University of Phoenix that does a majority of online. But I think a lot of other schools still need to kind of get on the bandwagon. University of North Carolina down the street, they have a couple online classes, but most of their classes are face-to-face campus classes. Online classes like this class is online books, which are, at first for me, were really difficult, but are amazing now. It's a lot easier, I think, for me to keep track. You don't have to worry about ordering books and waiting for them to come in. And in 10 years, I think most hard copies books will be transferred to online books, via PDF, which will make it easier for everyone, I think. Another thing for online classes, a huge perk is it can be done anywhere. I did classes at my mom's house in Augusta. You can do them on your cell phone, you can do them on your tablet, you can do them on a computer, a laptop, so you don't actually have to be in the class, which makes it easier, like I said earlier, for working adults. You can do them on your lunch break rather than having to drive, in my case, 45 minutes to go to UNC and sit in a class for 3 hours. And also, online classes, I think you can get more creative with your projects. Recently, I was introduced to Prezi, which is way better than PowerPoint. With this class, I messed around a little bit with the Powtoon, so it's animation. And face-to-face classes, you could do it, but you would still have to bring your computer and set everything up. So ultimately, it would have to be technology-driven. With online classes, you could do a whole much more of different things and submit them in and use your teamwork in Google Drive and all that fun stuff to kind of get everybody in the loop with it. My last class, a lot of people hadn't used any of that stuff, so I kind of had to take the lead on that and kind of get things out of the PowerPoint era. We need to let go of PowerPoint. It's been a while. Let it go. Who's involved in development and design of learning? Obviously, the school administration has a hand in that. Certain things have to be covered in the class to get course credit. That's obvious. I also think society has a little bit of a play in how things are done. Popular things are changing into classes now. I think bringing that into popular things gets more people interested in in the school, in the class, which I think is, more people, more money. So that's always a good thing. And more, obviously, educated people. We always need that. Who or what influences a course content? That kind of goes back to the administration. Student course planning is very crucial. Must be, like I said before, needs to be cover certain topics. A course planning is tedious. You need to make sure things are done at a certain time to kind of make sure everything is done by, a certain time period. And teaching adults is obviously, like we learned in our second class, teaching adults is different than teaching children. Adults learn differently. We like to base our things on our own experience rather than being told how to do things or what is right and what is wrong. This is set in stone. Adults are completely different. They like to use their own life and work experiences. Team problem solving is always a really big thing. I love. I think the best way to teach adults is to use those things. Use their life experience to help them relate to the material. I think it's easier for adults to retain information when it is based on their past experiences. They can pull it from their past and say, oh, well, so, this is based on this. Or, oh, well, I've used that before, and give a scenario so they can actually kind of put two and two together. They want to be able to, well, me too, I'm an adult. They want to learn information that is useful in day-to-day life. Everyone remembers in school, algebra, am I ever going to use this? And some people do, some people don't. I guess it depends on your job. But adults want to use stuff that they need to know now. They want to learn stuff that is useful in their job, in their life, and put that good knowledge to use rather than, sitting in the classroom for 8 hours or being online and doing all this stuff and then, brain dumping it after the fact. So altogether, huge upcoming changes in the next 10 years. Technology, education, hopefully some more popular things going on to get more people involved, to get more people more people that want to be educated, that want to, expand their knowledge on things. And I think that will be awesome. Like anything, it's not going to happen overnight. Everything has a process, trial and error. Not everything's going to be perfect right off the bat. I'm sure online education was not, 100%. My husband goes to ITT, and his online education is completely different from University of Phoenix. So, everything's different. Like I said, trial and error. And educational opportunities will bring in, hopefully, a larger number of potential students. Popular things bring in, kids that like to do other things that are popular. Will bring in more people. And like I said earlier, more students lead to changes in the instructional design, popular topics. So it may seem like we don't have a voice, but I think we do. If we recommend, certain things that we're interested in, and, if we get enough recommendations like anything else, and maybe things can change. So that's always, potentially that can happen. And education will have to keep up with technology. It seems like every time we turn on the news, my husband's a big tech guru, everything's changing. Everything's new. There's always something new, something better. And I think online education is going to have to keep up with that. And that's not always a bad thing. The technology changes, the different ways to teach can change. And also different ways to learn can change. So in the next 10 years, everything's going to be different. Education is going to be different. Technology is going to be different. But if we can keep up, I think it'll be a really great learning experience.